already set. It don't matter. They were supposed to cross all their T's and dot all their I's for them to ignore my tip after they clear the same people that I give them. I did that shit purposely, so that way I fuck up their whole Idaho 4 case. They know this. They know after they got that tip, they got desperate. How many times I had tell you that I blame myself? I blame myself for Brett Kopaka dying. Because Brett Kopaka died right after I gave him my tip. They got desperate and started forcing their issue. Oh shit, we got a first and last name. We a tip. Fuck. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? We already cleared them, but then now we got this phone call from this fucking guy from Idaho telling us the same names that we ignoring purposely, but he gave us a first and last name for this tip that we are about to ignore. We have to do some drastic shit. What was that drastic shit that they end up doing after they knew that someone knew exactly what they were doing? They killed Brett Kopaka. They got desperate. Try to use Brett Kopaka to cover the Idaho 4. Some way, somehow, Kopaka didn't cooperate. That's all my opinion for what it seems like. I'm going by the information that the government is giving us. This is my understanding. This is my understanding of the information that the government has given us. So my understanding tells me that after I call, they freaked out. They freaked out because they knew they were forced to investigate what they just ignore. So now we have to do some drastic shit. Now we got to get ahead of Jrod point and do all these other crazy. Now we have to literally commit crimes to force what we're going to do. You know how many I blame? You know how many times, and I shouldn't. But I knew when I put pressure on Moscow PD, things would have come out to the light. Thank you, Jane. I appreciate you, honey. I'm looking at the chat. Thank you, Jane. I appreciate you. But it hit hard. It hit hard because I knew they freaked out. I'm being very clear. I called 2 weeks after this crime occurred. After they cleared the same people that we know are the alleged suspects. On record, I told you I was not wrong. I told you when I give the name Jack D, it's because I knew that Jack D is in the middle of this shit. And guess what? Jrod on point was right. Because Jack D, it was in the middle of the whole investigation. I was not the only person that was giving up Jack D. I was not the only one. Jack D was being gave up by everyone. This is why Olivia Goncalves has to come and say, you need to stop the narrative and the rumors of this case. She started saying that the first week, everybody was bringing Jack Dicord to the investigation because everybody understood that this crime, the only way this crime would occur, it was within. It was people, they was hating the victims within, that they knew they could get inside that house, do whatever the fuck they want, and get out untouched. And after they did that, now they have the backup of the university and the police and the state to cover this case and commit more crimes after a massacre to cover a crime. I want you to understand how many crimes were committed after the Idaho 4 died. I want you, those that have studied the Idaho 4 case and understand what's going on, I want you to sit down at home and think about how many crimes and murders, at least a murder that I know, at least one murder. It could be more, but at least one murder that I know. Bryan Kohberger after the Idaho 4 to cover this case. And then all the crimes committed against Bryan Kohberger. All the crimes that they committed to bring Bryan Kohberger to the table to even be processed. Crimes were committed for them to be in Pennsylvania fishing on the trash can to go and fish for a guilty person that they said that they already had the DNA. If you already had the DNA of the person that you believe that is your killer, you do not need confirmation because you already have it, you fucking stupid idiot. When you say you have something, you have something. You don't need no confirmation because you already have it. You have a warrant for a fugitive of the law. How? With what? You base yourself to go all the way to Pennsylvania to get this man. And actually, you didn't went to Pennsylvania to get this man. You went to Pennsylvania to fish for evidence to then have the right to support that warrant to get this man. Because without that, you didn't have no reason for that warrant to even to be valid. That would have broke the law, and you knew this. You knew this. That's why you needed to search. You needed only an excuse to go out there and get DNA to get Kohberger. You only needed the DNA that you didn't have. You needed DNA that you did not have to go and get Kohberger. That's why you falsely accuse someone to get a false warrant to falsely go to Pennsylvania to dig into the trash to get the DNA that you needed. So that way now you have a DNA on a sheath that you can't even prove that that sheath was there. You could prove the existence of a sheath, but you can't prove that that sheath that you say that is part of this case, you don't have no proof that that sheath was where you say you found it. That's the whole case killer. The whole case killer is that you don't have evidence of that sheath being where you say it was. You don't have no proof that it was any DNA on this alleged sheath until you dig into the DNA that it was on a trash can in Pennsylvania, and then you have DNA on the sheath that you can't even prove that that sheath was there. That's how fucked up this case is, ladies and gentlemen. This young lady content creator that unfortunately got sued and lost. That's her problem. You want to say you a psychic and you understand the moon, the stars, the sun, and the spirits talk to you and stuff like that. And you want to say what you say here in YouTube True Crime, basing yourself and